Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be the changes I made to this makeup bag, the bi-weekly makeup bag that I've put together. So I made it on Saturday. Today is Wednesday, and for some reason I thought it's been a week and a half instead of half a week. So it feels like it's been a long time for some reason, but I've been enjoying this makeup and I've definitely learned a few things, and I want to share that after these 2 weeks or whenever I switch the makeup bag again, if it's longer than 2 weeks. But I do want to just go through the changes that I made. So the number generator had, when I picked the highlighter out, it was the cream highlighter, and I realized that my blush is also a cream, and so I got dry shampoo setting in, but that didn't really go well together. And so I thought, okay, then I need a powder blush, and then I need a powder highlighter. And instead of having to mix all those, instead of having to mix all those things, I decided to just swap out the highlighters, put the cream highlighter back, pull out the powder highlighter. And through all of this, I couldn't fit this powder highlighter in the bag because it's so clunky and big. And I was like, you know what? I was gonna allow myself to buy the Essence highlighter anyway. Let me just go do that. And thankfully, not thankfully, I stopped myself because that's one of the products that I did allow for myself. But I'm just glad I didn't go and get it, because really I fixed other things in my makeup bag to allow for this clunky thing to fit. And I still eventually do want to get the Essence highlighter, but I'm gonna go in with and I don't even know if I want to go in with this. I think I'm getting tired of the scent. At first, the first couple times I used it, it didn't bother me at all, but I think I'm getting tired of it. And I don't see it helping at all, so this honestly might go into declutter after I switch out the makeup bag. I've been going for super simple looks. Like, I don't even use eye primer sometimes. I've been doing just a bronzer with no blush, or just bronzer on the eyes with no shadow, and it's just been great. I'm gonna go in with eye primer today just because I feel like I'm making a video and I can spend a little more time and use more of the products I have in the makeup bag here. But I have been loving this whole situation, this challenge of having a bi-weekly makeup bag. It's really helped me to figure out, to enjoy the makeup that I have, and then also not feel like I need to go out and buy new makeup. I'm going in with Ilia foundation. This is the old formula. I'm trying to finish this. This is the foundation that I have for the next couple of weeks. And I'm honestly not a fan. Like, this isn't something I would wear if I'm going out to see family. Like, we're going out to my brother's baptism this weekend, and also Dad's birthday this weekend. Like, I'm not wearing this foundation. It's not, I am on the last bits of this and I just want to finish it off. But this is definitely not a foundation I'll use for pretty much any occasion. Like, if I have to be in front of people at all, it's just not a fave, and I don't think it's that great. Like, I've noticed I used to love this, but now that I've tried so many others like Purito, Kosas, Suntegrity, this is way too powdery. Like, I used to think it was the most skin-like thing ever, and then after I tried all those other ones, I was like, dang, it's actually really powdery. And actually, before I blend everything in, I'm gonna go in with color corrector. And I think that I'm kind of over this color corrector too, which is really sad because it was so expensive. But I just don't feel that it does what the Tarte one does for me. Like, the texture of the formula, the shade especially, it's like pretty orange. It's so interesting how much of a role the shade plays, because I've tried so many of these, and there are some, even the Pixie one, it just doesn't correct. It just doesn't do what the Tarte one does. So anyways, yeah, I think I'm not a fan of that one. I love just the whole concept of having a bi-weekly makeup bag, because it has helped me so much to really use a product multiple times instead of using it once and then trying something new and then kind of forgetting about all the products that you have, because you're always excited to try new things. But this way, I also don't feel like I want to buy new products, because I have this goal of using these these products that I have in my bi-weekly makeup bag. So I'm 22 days into the no buy now, and before, like in the first week, I had a few days where I was just like, I wanted to buy some things so bad, and I made a video about that. And then now I've really just been like really happy using the makeup that I have and haven't really thought about new products. And I think some of it is just like, you know, you're on a no buy, you know, you can't go out and buy products. So you kind of stop like dreaming about that stuff and lusting over products. And it's just bizarre because by the time, you know, I'll lust over like the Chantecaille bronzer, by the time like I get over that, there's already a new product out. So it's just insane how quickly new things come out anyway. And by the time I'm done thinking about something, there's already a new product out. So it's just like you get to the point where you're like, what's the point? Like, there's new stuff all the time. You can't keep up with it. It's unmotivating to dream about all these products when it's just so endless and it's so often that you're never going to be able to keep up with it anyways. So all those base products that I've used so far, no makeup bag changes happened with any of those products. The makeup bag changes that did happen was, like I discussed before, was with the highlighter, my mascaras, and makeup brushes. So when I first put in my eyeshadow brushes, I put in like all of my eyeshadow brushes, and it just made the makeup bag like barely close after adding in the big powder highlighter palette. And so I went through and like kind of the first time I did my makeup or the second time I did my makeup from this bag, I realized that there was just so many unnecessary things. So I took all of those brushes out and I only left two. These are the two that I use the most. And so I wanted to just, like, if I needed something else, I could go upstairs and get it. If I was going on a trip, I could pack a little extra, but for every day, I knew my basics and I just didn't need anything else. So I'm gonna go in with the PYT, and actually first I'm gonna go in with bronzer. What I've been usually doing is going in with bronzer and then going in with the bronzer on the lids, and then finishing off with something else from PYT, because this palette is just, it's too mauvey, it's too, or I guess like berry, it's too purple and pink, and even like the dark brown colors, they just have so much red tone that I can't get like a neutral color pretty much, because even this, what seems like a neutral color, somehow comes off purple. Like, that's one of my biggest, that's barely showing up, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when shadows swatch differently than what they look like. And oh my gosh, I can barely swatch it, but you can see it's got like a pink tint. And I hate when palettes do that, but that is the case with this PYT palette. So anyways, going in with the Cover FX bronzer in the shade Sun Kissed. And I've actually been really liking this bronzer, shockingly. So the reason I used to hate this bronzer is because you can see it's kind of hard to blend in. And when I first applied it, it kind of stamped. But I've figured out how to work around it, and I am excited to share my thoughts on this bronzer at the end of when I'm switching my makeup bag out. And I know this bronzer is not new. Nobody talks about Cover FX anymore, but the whole concept of this is not necessarily about specific products. It's just the concept of, you know, a no buy and how to go around using what you have and enjoying it without being obsessed over all the new things that are coming out that you want to buy. The foundation actually looked so good today. I have a feeling the reason it looked powdery before maybe was because of that number 7 primer that's in my bag. I'll have to test that. Because today with just the Well People powder, it actually looks really good. So I've gone in on my lids with the Cover FX bronzer, and then what I'm gonna do, and I just kind of took it up as high as I could, and then I'm gonna go in with this shade just to deepen things up. But I'm just gonna go in with the smaller brush that I have, and just to deepen things up a little bit in the outer corner and maybe the crease. Now, am I crazy, or is that coming off purple? Like, I feel like with the fast glance, it comes off like purpley pink. I regret buying this palette, honestly. Like, I wish I could exchange it, and I think it's too late. Because every single time, you're just gonna get a pink look. So unless you're obsessed with the pink look every single time, that's what you're gonna get. And I only use this dark brown shade. Like not even any of the pinks. And this dark brown shade, I don't know, like I guess it looks brown when I swatch it, but why does it come off pink? And my brush wasn't like dirty with the pink shade before. I don't know, I'm so confused. Or maybe like that's how it looks when it's blended out or something. I don't know. I do appreciate how little fallout it has, pretty much none. Even with the dry glittery shades, which is amazing because unlike the Ulta Beauty palette, those dry shades are so bad, I don't ever use them. They're like on my blacklist. I can't because there's glitter all over my entire face after I use them. And it just makes me mad. And I can't wipe out the fallout either. It just sticks, you know, that kind of shadow. I'm also gonna go in, this is where I actually wanna bring in another shadow brush, at least one, just to, for something to use to go underneath the eye, even though I guess I could like squish this brush, but it would just be nice to not have to do that. I think that might've been the wrong shade to use because I don't know, I feel like every time I use pink and purple shades, I look like I was like I don't know, like I look like I have a black eye instead of shadow. Next, I'm going in with the Almay Black Raisin or Craisin. I think it's Raisin, Black Raisin eyeliner. Okay, now the next change that I made in my makeup bag is I initially put all of my mascaras in there. And then after I did my makeup a couple times and I realized I only use one mascara, I took all the rest out. And I just decided that like once I use this up, or if I want to do another one or use another one, I can go and grab it. But I don't need all 5 in my makeup bag, especially when I only use one. So I'm going in with the Thrive Cosmetics. It is by far my favorite tubing mascara. I also have the Half Cake Tubular Formula Mascara, but it's very, very dry. So I think I will be using it when I have the new tube of Thrive because the Thrive is a lot heavier and wet. But sometimes combining these two gives me the perfect match. Since this one has been open for a while, it's like, you know, that perfect, like not too wet formula. So I don't need to combine this with any other one. I can tell that this one is starting to dry up because it's not as wet and it's not as easy to apply before it like gets really dry on the lashes. I did try their eyeliner and I hated it. And I got it in a bundle with the mascara. So I don't know if I need to return the mascara with the eyeliner or just I can return the eyeliner on its own and then exchange it for another mascara. I also really want to try the Cali Ray mascara. The reason I never bought it initially was because I heard people say it's extremely hard to take off, but then I also heard people say it comes off really easy with water. And I think it's the same price as the Thrive, so I just need to try it for myself and see. I saw some reviews that the Tartelette tubing formula mascara was garbage. That it, even though it has all the same exact ingredients as the Thrive, it doesn't actually come off with water like the Thrive one does. Or like at least in tubes, and it just left like a smeary mess. Okay, that's good enough for now. I'm going to quickly fill in one tiny spot on my brows. I think I trimmed them too much super quickly, and then going to top it off with the PYT eyebrow gel. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with I actually want to do a little bit more bronzer, go a little heavier there because the blush that I have is very, very subtle, and so I've just been going in, which I love. Like, I do appreciate that I have that option for a very subtle blush, but I'm not a fan of it, so I do just want to use it up. I'm not a fan of it because, like I mentioned in a previous video, it really just takes makeup off, but I do like to add it on, especially in the case that I'm trying to use it up. The Flower Beauty liquid one. I like to just rub it between my fingers and then tap it on. And I feel like sometimes it does literally nothing. And just like removes makeup, but I just want to finish it. Like, I have so much satisfaction in finishing something, so I gotta do that. And then I'm also just gonna go in very quickly with a little bit of highlight. I've just been loving the look of highlight so much. Going in with this random brush that I have that's kind of not dense, so it's just like that it doesn't pick up too much product. And just go on the very high point. I feel like this highlighter is gonna take me absolutely forever to go through. I also feel like this highlighter, if used too much or incorrectly, so quickly can just turn bad, like look bad. And for that reason, I'm also not a fan of it because it just looks so gray on me so fast, even right now. Like you can't, I don't feel like it melts into the skin. It just kind of sits there. And I'm not a fan of that. It gives like a very nice look though. It just doesn't sit on the skin very well. That is it. And then I ran out of one of my clear glosses. So that was one of the things with my no buy is that I'm allowed to have 2 clear glosses at a time because I always have one in my car and one in my house. I just have very chapped lips sometimes and I need like a clear and juicy formula. So I found I was gonna buy this in the clear, the Ulta Beauty, but I found a new formula that I really want to try, which is also very affordable from Half Caked. So if I do buy that one, I will show y'all. But for now, I'm just gonna clean this mascara off. And that is it. This is the look. And it's kind of been the same look I've had all week, which I'm enjoying, just kind of having, I don't want to say a signature look, but just like a consistent look. And I'm not worried about like, oh, I have to be like go all out or look really different or whatever. It's just really, really simple, really fast. I'm having fun with it. I'm loving this bronzer and I used to not. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that and I will see you the next time there's anything interesting to talk about.